Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. If you can hear me, drop a 1 in the comments for me, please. Hi, Elaine. Oh my goodness, how are you doing, sweetie? Yay, Arlette, you made it. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay, I see the ones coming in now. Thank you. It's always weird with the headsets, but I have to put them in, otherwise it'll echo when I play those other pieces of audio. I see the ones. Thank you. Elaine, I'm glad you made it. I've been praying for you, sis. Arlette, I'm glad you made it. I saw you in Tanika TTC's live the other night. Hopefully all is going well with the newborn and the toddler. I can only imagine. Sending you positive vibes and strength. Aero, Timberly. Hey, Timberly, how are you? Sahir. I did finally get around to updating my Instagram. I know people were like, you've been gone for 8 days. I'm doing the best that I can, you guys. I am doing vlogs over on my other channel. I'm becoming Tanika. If you're ever worried about what I'm doing, I do post vlogs over there. And we're doing Grovember. I owe them a video too. I have been tired. So my title today for this video is Done Napping, because I had about 3 naps today. And then I went to acupuncture. And I thought I was going to go home and go right to sleep. But then I remembered I didn't take my second prednisone. So I've taken that. Who knows what my sleep is going to be like. But I'm at peace. I feel restful. I went to Bye Bye Baby after acupuncture. And I picked up my Registry bag from there. So I've kind of become obsessed with the Registry bags, Registry boxes. I'll do a video on it. But so far I have the Bye Bye Baby, Target, Walmart, Hey Milestone, and Baby List of 5 in my house right now. I haven't opened them because I want to do a video, but I peeked in the Bye Bye Baby one because the lady, so there's like, I'm sure you guys all know, but there, for those of you guys who haven't been in Bye Bye Baby or there's not one near you, there's like a big welcome part for baby registry. So I'm imagining that's a good portion of their sales. And there's a desk, there's 2 desks, there's a photo op. Nobody was there when I went. So I went and found this sales lady, an older Black lady. And she was like, oh, I'll just give you the bag. So we went over there. And I didn't want to be like scammy. I was like, oh, I did register. She was like, well, nobody's here, so they can't help you. And I was like, no, but I registered online. She was like, listen, I'm going to give you this bag. Come back when somebody is here and get you another bag. Because we all like free stuff. And there's not a lot of free stuff in this bag. I was like, okay, thank you, ma'am. But I did peek in there. There's like a Dr. Brown's bottle, which I've heard mixed reviews about. Like there's a lot of parts. And I can't even remember. I forgot that. For sure there's there's a pacifier. And I don't even know if I'm going to use a pacifier or not. I mean, it's free, so why not? But like Cheyenne never took a pacifier. So anyway, I'm excited to open up all of the other. I heard Target has good stuff in there. I've heard Amazon has good stuff in there, but that it's gotten lighter over the years. Again, it's free, so I'll take it. Um, Neo Soul Rider, love. Um, Proscovia, hopefully I'm saying that right. Creative Edge Sweets, Yvette. Hello, everybody. Hey, Cheyenne. How are you? Kisses right back at you. Hey, Lisa. Going from 1 to 2 ain't easy. Oh, girl, I don't even know. I'm about to find out in 2 years, though. But I imagine it's just got to be a handful. I've been watching a bunch of birthing videos and people bringing home their second babies, and they have. I don't know if you did this. Did Baby Joy Chaser buy his sister a gift, or no, the other way around? Did your daughter buy Baby Joy Chaser a gift when she came home? I've been seeing that a lot. I guess that's to make them more welcoming. I'm not sure, or to like make them not jealous. Um, it seems to go over well and the kids don't question it, but like me and my adult mind, I'm like, how did this baby get this gift? Anyway, I'm sure, listen, kids believe in Santa. I'm sure they got it all worked out in their head. Isaiah 61, hello. Demarius, hello. Jessica. Oh, there's a super chat. Where is the super chat? I missed it. Can I not see it in StreamYard? Thank you, whoever sent one. Okay. I was in Target yesterday. They had some cute maternity dresses and sweater dresses. I thought about you. Oh, Lisa. Oh my goodness. We had that conversation last Friday about the maternity stuff. And of course, my anxiety went through the roof and I obsessed about it. So I actually ordered some stuff from Target. It's funny you say that. Target actually has a good selection of maternity. I went on Target.com. They have like multiple brands of maternity wear. So I've ordered some dresses. What's happening is I'm getting wider more than anything else. I posted on Instagram today in my sweater dress. Like I had to put on tights underneath because I'm getting wider, so it's making the clothes go up. And my suit jackets are not going to be able to close soon because my boobs are getting so big. So it's not really like, again, if you didn't know I was pregnant, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's a pregnancy look. It's just, I know. And I know it's going to get bigger, right? So I'm just trying to figure out like, how do I, from a work perspective, fit these clothes in, not make it so obvious, because I am not going to like announce it at work until probably after my 20-week scan, which is in January. So yeah, but Target, I looked at Target. I also, where else was I? Do you guys have that app Shop? If you don't have it, don't get it. I'm not recommending it because if you're like me, you will shop. But I put in maternity on the app Shop and it brought up a bunch of different retailers that have maternity clothes. So, yeah. The reason why I like Target too is because the reviews are on there and it has like specifically why something didn't work or what the quality of the fabric was. Sometimes you get that with Amazon, sometimes not. Like, I don't know. Some of the resellers on Amazon are kind of sketch. Anyway, yes, Lisa, I'm working on that. And thank you for your gifts again. Thank you, Shamika. Hey, LaQuandra. She got him a super big brother gift set that came with the superhero cape, mask, medal, and cup. He was, oh, I love that. Okay, yes. So yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. That's good. I like that. I'm gonna do what my mom did with my sisters and me when my brother was born. She told us that he threw us a party. That's what I'm saying. Did that make him more acceptable? That's what my mom did not do that when my brother came home. I might have liked him better if he would have came with a gift. I was like, well, we're 5.5, almost 6 years apart. I just kept saying, like, well, when is he going back? Like, I did not understand the concept. Like, when is he going back? When is he going wherever he came from? Was a horrible big sister. LOL, the adults knew that was going on, but I remember bragging about my newborn brother giving me a party. Okay, so see, it works. Listen, I said kids believe in Santa. Target had a good selection of maternity clothes. They're starting to carry items from other vendors online, which is good. Will you be on prednisone until delivery? I do not know if I will be on prednisone. It's funny. I went to acupuncture today. She was asking me that too. I don't know yet. I have to get my blood work drawn every 2 weeks. I missed a week during elections because I just could not get out of the city for that long. The way that this blood work, it has to happen either in Connecticut or in New Jersey because this company ReproSource is not licensed to have the blood draw in New York. And so I went yesterday to Connecticut, and I guess my doctor will get the results next week, I'm guessing, because of the holiday. So depending on my inflammation markers is how we know what my prednisone would be. So a couple weeks ago, my prednisone had to go up because my markers were going in the wrong direction. So I was originally on 20 milligrams of prednisone. Now I'm on 30. I take 20 in the AM, and I'm meant to take 10 in the afternoon, but like today I forgot, so I didn't take it till the evening. So I don't know. It is making me a little anxious, and like I think I'm nervous for I'm nervous in general, I guess it's anxiety, but for the anatomy scan, because I did have to sign a waiver saying that I understand the baby is at a higher risk of having a cleft lip or a cleft palate because of the prednisone. So I'm just anxious to see like how that all susses out. I mean, obviously there's always that risk. It's slightly higher than if I weren't taking it. So, but it's the risk of like, if you don't take it, you could not have a baby at all. So we'll see how that comes out. But to answer your question, I don't know. That was a long way of saying I don't know, but I was trying to give context as to why I don't know. He's not really jealous of her, more so he's upset in general or with me about not getting as much attention. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that was with me and my brother too. It wasn't like I was jealous of him. It was just like he was taking a lot of her attention. So in my mind, when he was gone, then that attention would come back to me. So I wanted to know when he was going to be gone. My son did ask me one day if she was staying. She was a few weeks old. Okay, baby Joy Chaser is a child after my own heart. I swear, I was like, when is he going back? And I was older. So you would think I would have grasped that concept, but no. Okay, I'm not mad. I was a twin, and 10 months later, my younger sister was born. So I guess it helped being how he was the only boy. I don't get it. Who was the only boy? I was a twin, and 10 months later, my younger sister was born. It might be the pregnancy brain, ESO writer. I'm not tracking. I am going to do a maternity photo shoot. Yes. I have to figure that out because so the dresses are kind of expensive, but I was talking to Fertility Journals and she was saying they let you rent dresses. So I have to figure that out because I'm not trying to like go broke, but I do, want to memorialize the occasion. So we have to figure that out. Hey, L. Davis. Thank you for dropping by. Good to see you. Oh, I'm not even popping these up. Sorry. Hello. I know how to run a live stream. Tara, just letting you know, my blood work came back negative. I'm not. Oh, I saw this on Instagram. That is so crazy, Tara. I'm sorry to hear that. Was it completely negative, or do they think that you might have had a positive and then it went to like what do they call it? That's not called a miscarriage, a chemical pregnancy? Oh, my nose is dripping. Sorry, guys. I need to blow my nose. I'm gonna play the intro really fast, so I can get some Kleenex and not show you guys all of my nose business. Give me a second.
What's up, fertility fan? Let's get these babies, ladies. To make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you.
All right, I'm back. I need to redo that intro. So it says 2021. And Liberty and Justice. Oh my God, they have been so clingy. My little ride or dies. Love them. Level was a 3. They didn't say. Okay, so that also could be why you had the positive on the Wanfo. I'm not sure how sensitive Wanfos are, but I'm definitely sorry. I know that disappointment. I had that last year. It's not fun. So I am just sending you positive vibes and praying for better days. Lisa saying sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that is not it's never good. Never good. Let's see. So what else is going on? I had I'm probably gonna mispronounce it, the NT scan, nuchal translucency scan yesterday. I got the results back. Oh my god, they make it sound like I'm an ancient lady. I'm gonna read this to you. I'll do a video on it, but I don't know when I'm gonna record a video, to be honest. So I'm just gonna get this information out here, and then I'll put together a nice, pretty video, um, with some music and all that. You know how we do, and then we'll figure it out from there. Can I help you, Liberty? Is there something you have going on, ma'am? Okay, I'm just gonna read what this. The ultrasound tech was super nice too, and she was pregnant. At the Columbia Presbyterian, you cannot film, so I wasn't able to film, but I did get. She did take some pictures of the baby for me, and I posted that on Instagram. Um, and now I'm not sure if I'm having like phantom kicks, but I feel like because she had to wiggle my belly to get the baby to move so she could do the testing, and I swear I feel like when I'm I'm gonna say they. I put they on Instagram, and everybody's like, "Are you having twins?" I don't know the gender, so I'm just saying they instead of it. Um, so I felt like when they moved, like I felt it. So now I feel like I'm feeling it, even though it's only 12 weeks. But they do say you can feel the baby sooner the second time. Or like, I don't know if you felt your daughter move sooner, like her movements before. But I'm feeling like butterfly movements, not specific like jabs. Oh my god, I'm moving my hand, and I just realized Liberty's going crazy. Yes, ma'am. You want to know why the hand's not rubbing you? Okay, here you go. Here you go. Oh, what a good girl. What a good girl. Okay, let me just read this to you guys. I just want to like the language. Encounter for antenatal screening of mother, supervision of pregnancy resulting from assisted reproductive technology, first trimester, supervision of elderly, multigravida, unspecified trimester, elderly. Um, hey, oh, thank you for the super chat, love. From Chi-Town, I appreciate you. Amniotic fluid normal, visualized, appearing sonographically. Uterus was visualized. Both ovaries appear normal. The position of my placenta is fundal, which is good. So I did ask her, like, would I be able to hear it on a Doppler? Because I've heard, depending on where your placenta is located, it could impact your ability to hear it. But she was like, don't even try it at home before 20 weeks. She was like, you're just going to frustrate yourself, which is, I've already had that experience, but it was, I just wanted to get her expert opinion on like where my placenta is and if maybe that's why I couldn't hear it when I tried. But I was so freaked out when I couldn't hear it. I doubt that I'm going to do it again. So yeah, cervix appeared normal. Baby was measuring 12 weeks, 4 days. And then it just says plus or minus 7 days. So yesterday I was 12 weeks, 2 days. Fetal growth appeared normal. Regular fetal heart rate of 167. Fundal placenta. Patient is of advanced maternal age. This is an IVF pregnancy. It said it multiple times. I get it, lady. I'm old. There was no free fluid in the cul-de-sac uterus, and both ovaries were visualized and appeared normal. Patient should be counseled regarding options for aneuploidy screening and diagnostic testing. Ultrasound is recommended at 18 to 20 weeks to perform a fetal anatomic survey. Yeah, that was it. Signed by Jennifer, the registered ultrasound tech. So everything, it came out normal. Sorry, I skipped over that part. It's somewhere on here. Anyway, there was no issues. The point of that is to test, like, if depending on the thickness of the nuchal fold, it could indicate that there were chromosomal abnormalities, so trisomy 21, 18, 16, and it was just showing that it was normal. I don't think I'm going to do the non-invasive NIPT non-invasive prenatal testing. I don't think I'm going to do that. Mainly because it's a screening and not a test. And so it's going to give you like a percentage and average. And then what do you do with that information? So if you are at a greater risk of it, to actually get a definitive, to get a diagnostic test would be the chorionic villus CVS, chorionic villus sampling, I think it is, or amniocentesis, which I would not be open to doing either one. So having that extra bit of information where it's just enough to like tell you there might be something, but not being able to definitively say there's something is not good for my anxiety. So I'm not going to do that. Just yeah, this baby's coming home. Um, People are so obsessed with age and pregnancy. That's why I'm choosing not to tell anybody. I want to try at 43 to have a baby. They were so negative about my 39-year-old coworker who's due in January. So I said, yeah, people just, my mom always said opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and most of them stink. They should keep it to themselves. I don't know why. I don't know. It has zero impact on them. I don't know why they need to comment on it. But medically, for them to keep calling me geriatric, elderly, and advanced maternal age is like, listen, if I'm elderly, when do I get my discount at Denny's? Um, I felt the kicks for sure with all my three boys. Okay, Arrow. Yeah, I'm feeling something. And the baby response, like when I push, which I got the idea from her because first she was like, cough and see if the baby will move. And I coughed, the baby moved back to where it was. And then she just started like pushing on my stomach. She was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And the baby responded. So now I've been doing it. But anyway, baby can't hear me yet until 18 weeks. Actually, at 18 weeks, they can hear my heartbeat, and then I think it's like 20 something when they can hear my voice. Because then I'm like, do I want to read? Do I want to put headphones on? I'm definitely gonna read to the baby, but I've already been talking to the baby just like I talk to the dogs all the time. I'm here by myself. I gotta talk to somebody. So that's been fun. Lisa, stay encouraged. You can have a baby if you want, and 43 is fine. I delivered a baby January 2022 at 41. Congratulations, Tiffany. Yes, I agree. Hey, Mina, how are you? Hello, Tiffany. Thank you, Tanika. I agree. Like, it just depends on what you're up for. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you can handle. And arguably, you have different things to offer a child in your 40s than in your 20s. I know I do. Like, I had Cheyenne at 23. I planned that pregnancy. I just want to say that because I know some people are like, oh, maybe it wasn't. I definitely planned that pregnancy, but I planned it with the mind of a 20 something year old versus a 50 something year old. Do you know what I mean? Like, so what I dreamed of for her is different than what I dream of for this child. Simply because I'm a different person. Yeah. And I know some people are like, oh, are you going to film the child? I don't know yet. Like, maybe the first year I will, but like I don't want to be like a mommy vlogger where my kid is on there all the time. I do want to respect their privacy. I don't know if I'm going to say the baby's name publicly just because the internet is forever and the internet is really still in its infancy. Like I don't know what it's going to become, and God forbid my child is going in for a job one day or whatever and they're like, "Oh, your mom had you with your butt out on the." You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. For me, I'm not judging anybody who does it. Just for the choices that I want to make for my child, that would not fit in. I shouldn't say weird. Sorry, that does sound judgy. But yeah, so I have to figure all of that out. I don't know. Um, and also with the opinions, I don't need other people chiming in about my child rearing. You know what I mean? Like you put it on the internet, it's kind of open game. Um, Like I got a lot of flack from some of my family members because I don't believe in corporal punishment. Like I've never spanked Cheyenne. I'm not going to spank my child. I don't believe that you're meant to inflict pain on your children. Obviously, other people have different views of that. God bless all of y'all. You raise your children the way you want to. Let me raise. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to have that open conversation. Like I don't need the internet to help me raise my child, if that makes sense. Even though I know we got these internet aunties. Um, y'all not going to raise the baby at the end of the day. So it's just, you know. Um, I think geriatric elderly is a bit much. Could have just said advanced age, Lord, right? And it was like multiple times different like phrasing of it, but it's like let's whatever. As soon as you're 35, they put advanced maternal age on everything. Yes, I know. And I actually just because I've been watching. I mean, you guys know I watch YouTube all day. The reason why 35 was picked because there is a inflection point of when to do an amniocentesis for the Down syndrome testing. And so at 35, the risk of you having Down syndrome meets the risk of you having a miscarriage from the amnio. And so at that point, they feel like it's worth the risk. Prior to that, it's not. So it's kind of antiquated. Because do people really still do amnio? I mean, I guess if someone is hell bent, like they want to not have a child that has Down syndrome, they'll probably do it, right? Because then they would just start over. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I am planning to get a doula. I have, I got to figure this out. I have a list. I went to this doula agency. I have a list of potential doulas. I have to go through them and then start interviewing. But the lady was like, "You really don't need to lock down your doula until the second trimester." So I have it on my bed. I've delayed it, but guess what? Next week is my last week of my first trimester, so I got to figure it out. But I definitely do want a doula. IVF Bahama Mama. I saw you on IG the other day. Hey sis. We all got to know our limits. Everyone should respect your choices. I would film my child. It's weird people all over the internet. Yeah, I just, it's a different world. I've seen some family vloggers where they're like vlogging their daughter's first period, their bra. I'm just like, that's curious. It's not for me. But I think like the first year is innocent enough and there'll be like milestones. And of course, I feel like everybody's invested. And the first year is also the child is not necessarily recognizable. Do you know what I mean? So if there's no name and they change, the only way you would know is if you know me in real life that okay, that's her kid. Um, I just want to be respectful of my child's privacy, especially given the way the child was conceived, and I don't want that to be like a talking point on the playground or something that somebody tries to use to manipulate the child. Um, I've been waiting to share my many blessings to you. I and many others are fortunate for you. Oh, thank you, V Ortega. There's so many. I was on Tanika TTC's live the other night and I was like, I just love the sharing of knowledge. And she had a lot of good information. And then also just part of the conversation, we talked about surrogates and adoption and like how people misunderstand that. I love that we're able to have these conversations and get this information out there and share with each other like our thoughts and our experiences. I think it's very powerful. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you are here. Um, Before I forget, if anybody's watching this later on the replay crew, drop a blue heart in the comments so I know that you came and watched it. I love the replay crew. If you are here currently in real time, please remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. I got a nice little present from YouTube today. They do, for those of you guys who have channels. They cut checks on, I guess, the 21st. I got it yesterday. So I had a nice little check for it. So I actually, I shouldn't have, but I bought some baby stuff and some maternity stuff. But yeah. Who is this? Yeah, I wouldn't film my child. Yeah, it's hard, right? And it's weird because I thought about this earlier today because like when Cheyenne was little, I was an actress and so she wanted to act and so she did like some commercials and some films and I was trying to figure out like is it different? But she willingly wanted to do that. She got paid to do that and it wasn't her. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're acting, you're becoming another character. It wasn't like her personal moments. And so I just want to be respectful of my child's privacy, I think. Because the internet is forever and you don't know who is out there doing what with those images once you release them. Like for them to take my image, it's fine. I'm an adult. I mean, it's not fine, but I can handle it emotionally. If something nefarious were to come of an image that I posted of myself, but I just don't want to subject my child to that. Yeah, can you imagine like their classmates coming up and being like blah blah blah? And I think especially when you put their name out there, that happens. Or there's also like all these identity thief people. Like, are you going to take their name? It's just like, it can be such a Pandora's box. I just want to err on the side of caution, and not do it. Like, I get it that people do it all the time and it's fine and good for them. Um, this pregnancy is moving fast. Second trimester already. Next birth. Oh my God. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm 12 weeks. Some of the books say 12 weeks is the end, but most of them say 13 weeks is the end. So I'm gonna go with 13 weeks. So after next week. And then I see the MFM next week. Even though I had the scan this week, I didn't see her, but I see her next week. And I'm getting my list together. If you guys have good questions for your first visit, let me know. But I'm getting my list together, mainly about stuff that I can take, like how much Tylenol can I take? Can I take my Flonase because I've been congested? I read though that is because the blood vessels, like it's part of the pregnancy to have your nose be stuffy. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I'm happy that I haven't had any crazy symptoms. I'm just so grateful that I did not have any morning sickness or nausea. I still have that little weird chalky taste. I did do some research because I know some of you guys are like, oh, that means you're short on zinc or whatever. And I actually take a zinc supplement. But fun fact, there is no scientific data to show that when you have that metallic taste that you are short on anything, or like when you're craving ice. It is kind of an old wives' tale. But to each his own. But I am taking the zinc supplement if you guys worried about that. I'm taking an iron supplement. I take a calcium supplement. So those were all approved by the immunologist. We'll see what the MFM says. I entered it into the portal, like all of my meds. But like when I started the S-Trace, immunologist had me start the calcium and the 81 milligrams aspirin, the methylfolate. Oh my God, I'm forgetting something. Oh, the omegas. Anyway, so we'll see what the MFM says. Fuller face. Oh, yes, me and the baby are well, Moni. And I think part of it is the prednisone when I went up the milligrams. But yes, I'm definitely rounder. I had stopped sharing my daughter pics on my Facebook and blocked the ones who stole my daughter's pics. She's an adult. I won't share child or adult pics of her anymore. Yes. And actually, Kitty, that's a good point. So that's when I started becoming wary of it. And I think actually I need to double check. I think I blocked those. But like when Cheyenne was 12, 13, 14, that's when Facebook was becoming really popular. And I actually joined it like before it was mainstream, where you had to have your university email to join Facebook, which I think was like 2006, 2007. But I probably maybe 2008, 2009 was posting photos of Cheyenne, and we used to go to the beach all the time, and she'd be in her bathing suit, and like people would make weird comments. And so that's when I got a little sketch about the internet. So then I started making those photos private, and then I made my Facebook page private, because you just don't know what people are up to out there. And here, it's an innocent enough photo, but you don't know what people have going on in their head. And then you see I watched too those catfishing videos where people are like stealing other people's photos. Like older women are stealing younger women's photos and catfishing like younger men. Like you just don't know. And once you put it out there, you don't own it anymore, right? You sign a thing for Facebook. If you upload a photo to Facebook, Facebook now owns your photo. So it just is like, I just would rather err on the side of caution. Just, it's so much of that going on. I don't have any social media profiles. Had a Facebook years ago. Ex-boyfriend stole my pictures, was posting on his page like we were a couple. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Lisa. That is crazy. Yeah. And there are some I don't know how to even explain this. This is going to sound so weird. Review channels where they review other channels. And so if you look at some of these review channels, they'll pull the stats. Like there's this one dad podcast. So like the Ace family, they'll pull the stats for the Ace family, and people are going to the Ace family watching their children. Like there was this one video of one of the daughters sucking on a lollipop, and it was showing, because if you have a YouTube channel, it'll show you what your demographic is, and the people who are watching that were all men. So like is that what you want your daughter on the internet for? You know what I mean? Like, that's sketch. And so you just have to, even if your intentions are good or you don't think, other people are out there doing nefarious things, you just don't know. Um, I can't stand Bookface. Oh my God. I just got back on there this year. I was off for a couple years because apparently my family likes to make announcements on there. And so, yeah. Um, for those of you guys who don't know, that's how I got to New York. I reconnected with my high school sweetheart on Facebook in 2007, and then we moved to New York together in 2008. It did not work out. And so after that, I haven't really been that much into Facebook. But yeah. Have you given any thoughts to a gender neutral baby shower and or theme for the baby's room? Baby's room theme is elephants, and it will be the Tiffany blue and dusty rose. And the baby shower is going to have to be gender neutral because I'm not going to know the gender to the babies here. So it'll have to be. Also, like, I'm it always sounds weird, but I'm a feminist. I don't believe in the pink and the blue for the girls and the boys. Like, I have my dogs, they're 2 girl dogs. They're in blue sweaters right now. And I walk them and people are like, "Oh, are they boys?" Like, I don't know. Yeah. My favorite color is blue, so I don't associate like blue with boys anyway. Do you know what I mean? So my child is going to wear all the colors. And yeah, it's not the messaging that I want for my child. I'll just say that. So I'm not going to obsess over their gender. And it's also a misnomer because you don't know what gender your child is going to select, right? You're actually talking about the sex of the child, but nobody has a sex reveal party because it sounds weird. So that's a whole other like conversation. So I don't want to freak anybody out. Any advice for calming your anxiety while also trying to lose weight before you transfer? I have 1 embryo left and feel all over the place. Oh, Jennifer. I don't know, honestly. I go up and down with my anxiety. 1, I'm medicated, so I'm on 50 milligrams of Zoloft. 2, I do a lot of meditation and yoga just to like dial it down. Acupuncture, massages, chiropractor, like all of those things to kind of keep my physical and mental in alignment. The weight loss, how much weight are you trying to lose before the transfer? And what are you doing to... 1, I would say give yourself grace. First and foremost, give yourself grace. You're doing the best that you can. And just practice mindfulness. That would be my advice. I don't do any type of social media. Yeah. 90 of us in the live. Oh, yes, please hit the like button. I appreciate you, V. Ortega. Thank you. Saffron helps with anxiety and food cravings. Oh, nice. How do you get saffron? I think I've seen saffron flowers. It's yellow, right? Can you get it like a seasoning or is it a supplement? Tell us more, Lisa. I had these grand plans of recording videos, so I'm on vacation this week. I'm off from work, and I was gonna do because I have to do my 8-week, 9-week, 10-week, 11-week update, which now I'm sure is gonna be 1 video. I've just been napping, and it's been amazing. Like, I had 3 naps yesterday. I'm like napping and eating, which is probably why I gained the 16 pounds. I got on the scale when I went to get my blood work done yesterday, and it was like 176. I was like, I hopped off that bad boy so fast. Now, mind you, I had on a sweater, winter garments underneath, and boots, so maybe I can get away with a pound. But good Lord, I have got to rein it in. I take it in a supplement form. It comes in edible form. Also, people cook with it. Herb stores carry it. Yes, I've seen it being cooked. Because there's actually, oh my God, there's a dish. Like, I see it, chicken with saffron. But yeah, okay. Everybody do your own research, though, whatever people recommend, because sometimes supplements counteract with your medications and other things. So I appreciate Lisa recommending this, but make sure it's right for you. Because sometimes they have little wonky side effects or they don't go well if you have certain conditions. May help reduce anxiety symptoms, including magnesium, vitamin D, saffron, omega-3s, chamomile, L-theanine, vitamin C, curcumin, pure CBD. Oh, all those sound good, Kitty. I'm taking magnesium. I'm doing magnesium citrate. I have it in the evenings. 1, to help me sleep because of the prednisone. 2, to help keep the bowels moving. Because that pregnancy, that slowdown is no joke. I'm not constipated, but I'm not regular. Let me say it like that. And actually, I talked to the acupuncturist about it tonight, and she was saying to increase the magnesium citrate a little bit, so that I have a bowel movement every day, which is what I had before pregnancy. Now I'm like every other day. So yeah, but vitamin D, I have that in the supplement. Omega-3s I'm taking. I haven't done any chamomile, although I have chamomile tea in there. That sounds good. L-theanine. I was taking the PIM tablets. I'm not taking any of that now that I'm pregnant, but that L-theanine is good. It's also, you can get L-theanine in green tea and matcha, which is a form of green tea. Very calming. But it does have caffeine, so you gotta kind of monitor that. But it is like, oh my god, iced matcha latte. Or I had a matcha latte yesterday coming back from Connecticut. It was so good. Just takes the edge off. Curcumin, yes. You have to take it with the pepper. Pure CBD. I did a lot of CBD before. I'm not doing any now, but yeah. All those sound good, Kitty. Thank you. So true. Do your research. I don't take anything else but helping me with cravings and anxiety along with magnesium at night. Yes, yes. I have server general and social anxiety. I don't know what server general is. Yeah. Oh my god, who is this with this? Oh my god, I didn't even realize, Love, that you gave me $50. Girl, God bless you. I appreciate you. It won't let me flag it again though. Why? Oh, here, we'll put that up there. I'm in the money. That's something for baby. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been cool. It's been it was good to see the baby yesterday. So I have this question for everybody who is pregnant, has been pregnant. What do you say when people say, how is the baby doing? Because I'm still very early, so I always freeze. It kind of kicks my anxiety up because, like, technically, I don't know how the baby is doing. Like, now I do because I just went yesterday, but like from week 8, I saw the baby, like, right before week 9, but then 9, 10, 11, I hadn't seen the baby, and so I would just be like, I don't know. I hope the baby's okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think when people say, how's the baby? We can do a live each night instead of recording. Girl, listen, Shamika, I'm awake. This time last night I was curled up in a ball. I hadn't even wrapped my hair up or anything. It was like, oh my goodness. Today I just decided to go with the flow. Thank you, everyone. Trying to lose at least 20 pounds. I changed doctors and she recommended weight loss to help. Yes, I'm agreeing with Lisa. You can do it. And sometimes that helps my anxiety too, like when I do like weight loss or like the jump rope challenge, because it helps me focus on a specific goal. So maybe break down the 20 pounds, like, do you want to, I think 1 to 2 pounds a week is what's considered healthy weight loss, sustainable weight loss. So like maybe map it out. How many weeks is it to get to 20? And then you just focus on that for the week. And then it doesn't seem like such a big task either. That's the project manager and me talking. But you focus on that 1 to 2 pounds and then you get that under your belt and you go to the next week. If you don't reach it, then it's not a setback. You just move forward from there, right? Increase your water intake, reduce your calories, exercise. You can definitely do it. Really bad general. Oh, gotcha. Yes. I don't know if I have social anxiety. I'm an introvert by nature. Maybe, I don't know. I have to look at that. I don't know. Let me not diagnose myself with new stuff. Let me just keep my own plain old anxiety. What does that say? I always say swimming and growing. Hey, Davina. Tell them, well, I'm still pregnant. Baby is doing well. Okay, that's it. I like that. Because But people will text it, and I'm just like, if something is not right with the baby, is this a text message conversation? Like, are you asking me if I had a miscarriage? Like, maybe that's I'm triggering myself, but I'm not really sure like what the appropriate answer is. Um, Fine, I'm assuming. Have my transfer for baby number 2 next month. So nervous. Thought I would be a pro at this. Shrug. Girl, are we ever a pro at it? Sending you baby dust. And you're doing it in December. God bless you, girl. That is a Christmas present for sure. Jennifer saying thank you to Lisa. I despise pink and I registered for masculine or neutral items. Yes, Tiffany. Oh my goodness. How much pink can you have? And I feel like, and maybe because this is my own experience, like everybody could be different. But when they found out I was having a girl, that's what everybody wanted to buy was like cute frilly things for her. And then they want pictures of it. Like Cheyenne did not get through all of her outfits, but when people buy clothes specifically, they want to see pictures. So like even on my registry now, I'm actually going to go back and redo some of it today. I just like would rather have like a bathtub or a swing because that's easier also to take a picture of versus clothes. And Cheyenne just liked to be in onesies when she was little. She did not want to be in all of those outfits, because they send the bows and the hats and it just becomes a thing. I imagine it's not as bad if you have a son. Um, but people like they just want to like make the girls really frilly. What if the girl's not like I was a tomboy? I hope they didn't do that to me. You know what I mean? Like what if the girl's not really frilly? It's like really it's for the adults and I just don't want to like put that on my child. We're gonna be in sleepers probably for the first 2 weeks. Like the baby's gonna be in pajamas. I'm gonna be in pajamas, like those gowns or a onesie. Because it'll be summer in New York. I don't know how hot it'll be, but just keep it simple, and we're just gonna like get to know each other, get our breastfeeding down, get our scheduling down. I know for sure when the baby is asleep, I'm gonna sleep. I did not do that when Cheyenne first got here, and I got kicked on my ass, even though everybody warned me. I was like, oh no, I can do it. Oh my God. And it hit hard when it did hit. But yeah, like you don't need to be in bows to be a girl or vice versa. Or be in a world where a boy can't wear pink where they don't think it's, oh my God, listen, I did you know I needed a sugar mama in my life, love? Listen, I will take it. Thank you, sis. Laura, Hunty, how are you? I was gonna email you the other day, but I took a nap. I was gonna email you, but I posted on Instagram. I haven't been emailing people like I should, but I did get a picture of the baby yesterday, um, at my NT scan. I'm glad you made it, Laura. I think people are shocked you're finally pregnant. They feel the need to check in frequently to see if all is well. I think so too, but if it's not well, are we going to talk about it in a text message? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're like how's the baby doing and I have bad news, is that a text message conversation? I mean, I don't have bad news, but I don't know how the baby is doing other than I'm hoping the baby is okay. Um I am 12 weeks and 3 days today, Mrs. Gaither. Um, I was a tomboy too. Oh my God. If you could see the scars on my legs, and I remember the grown-ups, they would always, because I love to climb trees. The grown-ups would be like, oh, you're scarring your legs up so much. No boy is gonna want you. Like this is what they were telling me. Like that's my value as a girl. Is if a boy wants me or not. Um, they meant well. But yeah. Oh yes, yellow rice with saffron. Oh my goodness. Good call, Tiffany. I'm like, I know I've eaten something with some saffron, chicken saffron, yellow rice with saffron. Yes, yes. Um, I have my beta test tomorrow. Oh, sending you positive vibes. This is my fourth FET. Hope you're live is my positive sign. Thanks, Doc. Used to watch you a lot. Sending so much love from Uruguay. Oh my God. Okay, sending you so many positive vibes. How are you feeling? Have you tested? To test or not to test before the beta is always the question. I'm 30 days away from starting my IVF cycle. Hey, Heather, trying to stick to my eating plan for help my body. It's so hard right now. Yes. Are you doing an anti-inflammation diet, Heather? It is hard to stick to the eating plan. Don't judge yourself. Give yourself grace. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And you have 30 days, so that's a good stretch. Good for you for starting out early. Get that resting, girl, but also email me anytime. Yes. I'm so glad I did not have to work this week. I don't know what has taken over. But all the apps say next week I should have more energy. Or no, not next week, the week after next. This once I officially start the second trimester, I'm supposed to have more energy. So we'll see. Definitely not in a text message. Pick up the phone, call me for sure. Yeah. Thank you, VR Tech. Oh my god, you guys are spoiling me with all the super chats and the super stickers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Knocking on 13-week story. Yes. Knock, knock, knocking on. That reminds me of the song Knocking on Heaven's Door. Thank you, D. Um, I say we're great. How are you? Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, maybe I should just say that and keep it moving. But it makes, in my very logical brain, I'm just like, I don't really know. I don't say I don't know, but I'm like thinking, I don't really know. I hope the baby's okay. I mean, I have no reason to believe that it's not. But when the question comes up, then I'm questioning, like, is the baby okay? I have to knock that off though. The baby is fine. Everything is gonna be fine. I was so happy to see the baby yesterday. At first, she started with the ovaries, and I didn't realize um it wasn't live. Like she had taken a picture and was measuring the picture. So I was freaking out, like, oh my God, is there no heartbeat? And then she must have sent something because she was like, oh, I'm going to start with your ovaries. Like I didn't say a word, but then she started explaining, oh, I'm going to start with your ovaries. And I was prepared for her not to say anything because like the videos that I've watched, people are like, they don't tell you a word, they don't say a word. So I wasn't expecting her to be, sharing what was going on. But then she was like, oh, the heartbeat is good. It's 167. And when I asked her where my placenta was, she answered. I didn't ask her too many questions. I mean, I'm not a chatty. I wasn't trying to chat her up. One, because I wanted her to focus on what she was doing. But she was responsive, so I was happy for that. Yeah, it was interesting. The baby looked so much bigger. I mean, it makes sense that it looks so much bigger, but just like when you see it, just like, oh my God. It actually looks like a baby for the most part. Although there was this one frame where they turned their head this way and it was like you could see the hollow part, like where the eyes should be, and like this part of the skull was not there. It was like a little freaky. She made a joke about it, but I was just like, that does not look good. But yeah, you haven't tested. I'm feeling different from last time. I found myself wanting to cry so hard over not getting my favorite ice cream flavor. That's a good sign, but I try not to think too much about, oh, I know that feeling. It's like, I actually need to make a video of how I knew I was pregnant, how I knew I was pregnant before my BFP, but it was like, every time I was like, this is different. But then I was like, don't get excited because last time you said something was different. So it's like managing your own expectations. uh, I'm praying for a big fat positive for you tomorrow, though. I really am. Yeah, yeah. It gets harder with each transfer. And you have to be mentally prepared for whatever outcome. Because I don't know, people were getting down on me like, why don't you hurry up into your next transfer? One, money. Like, I'm not even going to front on that. The money, I had to figure that part out. But two is like, I have to be mentally prepared if it doesn't work. And I knew that I wasn't. Thankfully, it worked, but you don't know. But follow your gut, trust your gut, and then tomorrow you'll know. If you're having these different signs, that's a good indication. And crying over your favorite ice cream, girl, that sounds like a pregnancy symptom to me. Just saying. I would be nervous every ultrasound at first until all tests are completed. It's natural to worry. I'm gonna be worried until the baby is in my arms, Lisa. I already can tell. I luckily am not as worried as I had imagined I might be. Oh, I downloaded this app, Expectful. Have you guys heard of that? That's been helping. It has these meditations in it. I've only been doing it for a week, so don't download it on my account. But it is a pay for app, but you get like your first week free. But oh god, wait, let me see. This is what it looks like. Expectful. And it has, like this one says, 12 weeks, 3 days, radiating health visualization for me to do. But it also has like different classes, so it lets you explore. Like it has live events, has stuff on hypnobirthing, mental health. There's one on here on pelvic floor that I want to take. There's like a sleep app that you play the sound while you go to sleep. That has been helping me relax. And then I'm only doing acupuncture once a month, again, because I'm trying to count my coins. But she did say she recommends it more frequently. Dr. Clara, in the third trimester. But that helps as well. You know, we're going to worry. And then just proceed to speak on everything. I wish all ultrasound techs were just given the blanket overall clearance to say, we cannot confirm or claim or deny anything. We are not your doctor, but we can simply offer what we think we are saying. Yes, I agree. You're going to be worried until you die over this baby. Ain't that the truth? That's a good point, because I still worry about Cheyenne. That's so true. We are going to worry about our children. Oh, now I see what you're saying, Lisa, and then just proceed to speak on everything. Yes, I wish they did say all of that. But the ultrasound tech is the one who interpreted all the results, and she sent it to the doctor because I came in the portal today. I'm just glad she was able, like, she wasn't weird. I've just heard some things, and of course, it was positive. So I think if there's something negative, it gets a little more tense watching YouTube videos where people are like, they didn't say anything. But things have happened. Like, there's one woman, it's me, Cassidy. I was just watching her. Her son had an abnormal kidney, so they had to watch it. One of her daughters did not have soft spots and had to have multiple surgeries. So like there are things that can go wrong. It doesn't mean they will. It just like there's probably an instinct in us that we know something is wrong, and then the ultrasound tech not saying anything is just heightening the anxiety. So I think that's where it gets weird. Like I said, yesterday was positive and the results came back positive. Like not positive for something bad. It was a positive experience and a positive outcome. So maybe that's why it was easier. But I went in expecting, not to be spoken to or like told what was going on. The only thing, and right at the top, because I had my phone out, I was playing a game. She was like, you're not allowed to film. And I was like, okay. I mean, it's a good thing she said it because I would have filmed. But at that moment, I wasn't. But she did give me like a lot of pictures, which was nice. Yes, Davinia, I'm sure. I mean, how can you not? So days are stressful trying to eat the right thing, especially when I have cravings. Thanks for the positivity. I will hang in there. Yes. And for me, I had to cut out all sugar. That helped with my cravings and staying hydrated. For some reason, when I'm dehydrated, I crave more sugar. Yeah. And even today, I went and had 2 fillet of fish when I got done at Bye Bye Baby, knowing I did not need any of that. 2 fillet of fish, a large fry, and a Diet Coke. Not on any of my meal plans. Give yourself grace. People ask why I didn't register for clothes, and my response is I need stroller, walker, bouncer, etc. And people buy stuff I would not trust my children in, which is wasteful. Yes, exactly, Tiffany. Like I said, I just don't need a bunch of clothes. I have a lot of the onesies and the gowns already. And Cheyenne just did not wear all those clothes, and people try to get like newborn, 3 months, 6 months, but again, because she was a girl, they bought so many clothes, and I ended up getting like my own swing and all. Like I would rather have that and let me pick out their clothes, especially because I know at least the first month, the baby's not going to be in a whole bunch of outfits. The baby's going to be in onesies and gowns, and so I just don't want people to waste their money on that. And we all have like different tastes, but also like I know I go into this because I do feel like they are souls, right? They have their own personality. You have to get to know them first to see like what is gonna fit with them. Because just because I like it doesn't mean it's gonna suit the child, and I'm not into like forcing the child into. I'm not gonna project my visions onto the child. Like I just want to see, which is also why like I didn't name Cheyenne until I met her. I had names in mind, but I needed to meet her to see what name fit with her. So for the first, she was baby M for like the first 24 hours until I gave her a name. But yeah, it's so true. As a mother, you never stop worrying about you. My mom still worries about me. She was worried about me earlier this year. I could tell because she was calling me more. She knew I was in a dark place. But yeah, I think that's parents. Um, Congrats, Laura. I don't know what that one was for, Tiffany. I do not have a PO. I stopped paying for it when I went to California, and I never got another one. But if you are you on Instagram, I can send you my office address, and you can send it to the office if you want to send me something. But I have a registry. I did put the registry links in below, and the registries will mail it to my home. That's the thing too. So I'm gonna do 2 baby showers, but I'm gonna ask everyone to send this stuff to New York because I'm gonna go to California for 1 baby shower where my family is. But I'm like, I'm not taking all that stuff back on a plane. So I think the baby showers are gonna be more about celebration, and then I'll do a video of like unboxing all of the stuff when I get back to New York. Good to hear that you haven't been as worried as you thought you were going to be during pregnancy. I do worry sometimes if I'm always just going to be awaiting or preparing for the next bad outcome. Yes, it is, especially after loss, right, Laura? It's like you don't know, like, when are you supposed to celebrate? So for me, I'm just celebrating everything every day in every way because tomorrow's not promised. And so that has made it easier where and I'm glad I took the year off because I think had I been pregnant last year, I would not have had that ability to do that. I would have been so panicked. Um so I just needed that time to sort of like get to know myself, be deeper in my mindfulness practice and my yoga practice and all of that because the stress is not good for you, right? You spike your cortisol, it's not good for the baby. I mean, I'm not going to say it is always out of my mind. Like, I think once you have a miscarriage, there's always something there. But I also know it's not something I can control. And I feel like all of the factors that I could have addressed, I have addressed, right? They said it could be my eggs. So we went to donor eggs. Then we did 4 and that didn't work. Immune system. We addressed my immune system. So I don't know what else I could do. And so that kind of gives me relief. Like I've done everything that's within my control and the rest is up to God. And I have faith in him. He gave me so many signs, like even leading up to the BFP, like the night and then the high HCG, the strong heartbeat. Like he's telling me I got you. And so I just have to trust that. So I think it's not foolproof, right? Because he has the ultimate say no matter what. But I trust, and I've always prayed that his will be done. Now, do I understand his will? If for some reason he takes a baby away from me, I can't say that I will, but I just have to trust that he has a plan that I don't understand. Sugar is a drug, highly addictive, hard to avoid. It's in everything, not just sweets. So true. You got to read those labels. Oh my God. And it's the added sugar that I look out for because obviously I eat fruit. Fruit has sugar in it, right? But it's the natural sugar versus the added sugar. They're adding the sugar so that it can be palatable and so that you want it again and again. So you got to watch out for those added sugars. But I do substitute like monk fruit and I'm going to mispronounce it, erythritol, one of the alcohol sugars, alcohol derived sugars. But there are studies. Sugar is literally addictive. There are studies. Um, you're not on IG. Okay. I don't have my work phone in here. I know the building address, but I don't know my desk number. Um, when this video is over, I will put it in the comments down below of what it is. Love hearing that. Celebrate each step. Yes, I got that from Fertility Journals from Kay's channel of as she was going through it, because there are so many steps, especially when you're going through assisted reproductive technology. There's so many steps, and it's like you each one, you got to celebrate each milestone. If you're you just had an egg retrieval and the egg makes it to the next day or the embryo makes it to the next day. Celebrate that, because that's something you didn't have the day before, right? And so it's just a matter of being in the moment and celebrating and honoring that moment, because otherwise then you're stealing your own joy, right? Because if nothing bad happens, you didn't celebrate, you're not really appreciating it. If something bad eventually happens, you didn't mark the time of like on the path of when it went well, if that makes sense. It's like, be present, be grateful for what's happening at that time. Tomorrow is promised to none of us. You did make it. I'm glad. I made it too. I'm not napping. It's 9:30. I'm awake. He is. Listen, Tanika, ever since I heard you were pregnant this time, I just felt it, that this was it for you. That baby is as good as here and in your loving arms. A peace about it. Yes. I have that feeling too. I have that feeling too. My A1C was 6.2 this October. Last year it was 5.9. My doctor scared me, calling me diabetic. I got to make changes to my diet for sure. I am not an expert at A1C. I know Tanika TTC talks about it. I'm assuming because it went lower that that's bad because they said you were diabetic. Go easy on yourself. If it's something you can do by diet, definitely try to manage it by diet. Because I know some people have to have medication, but try to give yourself grace. And just know, as long as you're doing the best that you can, that's all you really can do, right? Your best has to be good enough. I don't know why I'm winded and I'm just sitting here. I went to group therapy tonight. One of the ladies, we actually have the same doctor, was sharing that she told her dad that she had frozen her eggs and he was not very positive about it. He's older though. She did, give that caveat. But I wonder, and she's also a woman of color. I just wonder, does it make men feel not needed or not as valued when we freeze our eggs? Because I feel like it's so powerful for us to be able to do that, because you get to sort of define your own destiny, right? You don't have to worry as much about your biological clock ticking. But he wasn't really that keen on her. He wasn't supportive is the word she used. And I thought that was interesting. Hey, Cuban Mahogany. 12 weeks, 3 days. So, Lisa, did the doctor give you specifics on changing your diet? Like, what are they looking to see? Is it a matter of changing your diet specifically to lose weight, or is it a matter of reducing or increasing your A1C or your glucose? Like, what did they give you, like, as tangible next steps for you to do? I always think that's important too, to have that conversation with the doctors, because sometimes they can be like doom and gloom. And I've had to tell some of the doctors, like my doctors in the past, I don't work with scare tactics. Like, don't give me this hard news, like this dramatic news, in order to get a bigger response out of me, because I'm not motivated by fear. Like, let's just have an honest conversation. And so if this is what's happening, what can I do to control it? What can you as a doctor do to help me? Is there medication? Like, what are the options? Right? You should be able to walk away with like a clear action plan or options to develop an action plan. Where they give you the information and then you decide what fits into your lifestyle, what steps you're willing to take. Because sometimes there's stuff that you don't want to do. If they're like, you never can have beef again, and you like a filet mignon every first of the month, that's not going to work for you. But what are some other options? And what does success look like for you, right? Is your doctor going to partner with you and like take a measurement of your A1C every 4 weeks? Like, what does that look like? What does your road to success look like? Thank you, Cuban Mahogany. 6.1 is the A1C cutoff, but you can totally diet, exercise, and shave some of those points off, especially with diet. Diabetes is one of the few chronic concerns that we have the ability to change. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Laura. Come through, Nurse Laura. Yes. My daughter is 22 and we banked her egg. She had an ovary removed last year, so we just wanted to be proactive. Oh, good for you guys. That was smart. Yes. Yeah. Preserve that fertility. I just wish I don't know. Is it the same like the embryos, it's like $1,200 a year. Is it similar for eggs to be banked, cuz that could get expensive. Like I know my employer pays for egg preservation, but I think they only pay for the first year of storage. Um at least on the IVF side, they only or on the it's all IVF. What am I saying? On the embryo storage side, they paid for 1 year for me, and then the rest was mine. But I'm not sure. But I love the idea of having the ability to do it because it just gives you more options. I definitely need to lose like 50 pounds. Sugar is my drug. I know it. I crave it. Love ice cream and sweets. He wants me to exercise more, cut out all sugar. He said, I think that's unrealistic. Yeah, so see, that's what I'm saying, Lisa. Like, to cut out all sugar, if you know that doesn't fit and you try it, and then the moment you have like a setback, then you're just going to go back to your old ways, right? So, like, doctors should know that. Maybe if you work with a nutritionist, somebody who can partner with you a little more, um, maybe the first goal is to reduce some of the sugar, like start reading labels, look at added sugar, substitute out sugar for like monk fruit or something else. Like if you look at the keto diets, I'm not saying do keto, but the keto diets have a good um foundation for removing sugar because you're not allowed to have sugar on that diet. And so like swapping, you have to be realistic of things that you can support, that is not going to like drive you crazy. Because I don't know, like when I was younger I would try those and then I would focus on it and do it for a while, but then when I had a setback it was like all hell broke loose. So that's not sustainable, right? So there's like keto ice cream too. You can that might have lower sugar. Like there are different things that you can kind of switch out because you can't shut off that addiction just like that. So it's like, do you wean? I know some doctors are like, go cold turkey, and but do they walk the walk? They talk that, but do they like what makes sense for you? You know what I mean? And so and maybe you can't afford a nutritionist or don't want to look up a nutritionist, but maybe come up with a plan and discuss that with your doctor and say, like, I feel like this is too far of a reach for me right now. But what about if I start here? And then we measure or whatever he's looking for in X amount of time. You know what I mean? Something so that you have a plan and that you can track progress. And it's not a plan that is like, just do it this way. Because if you could do it, just do it. Why wouldn't you have done it that way? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that doesn't seem realistic. Some family docs are even cool with your A1C getting as high as 6.3 before considering it diabetic and would call 6.2 pre-diabetic. Interesting. Type 2 diabetes is reversible. It just takes work. Okay, Ashley. We're going to block out this sex chat person. Block the user. I did not put subscribers only on there, unfortunately. I just realized that. Embryo storage for me is $1,200 a year. I don't know. I didn't check anywhere else, but at Columbia, it's $1,200 a year. Lisa is saying thanks to Laura. Laura, we should do a live together one day. Like, I think the ladies would benefit a lot from your knowledge. Question for you regarding love knocks, if that's okay. Do you inject standing, sitting, or laying down? I started tonight and was standing, but it hurt so bad. I do mine laying down or sitting down. Like if I'm in the bed, just like how I am right now, I'll do it that way. I can't totally lay down because unfortunately I would not be able to see over my boobs. But if you don't have that problem, you can do it laying down. It burns if you go too fast. So with the love knocks, and also I do lidocaine. Let me just show you. This last week I haven't been doing it because I've been in a hurry. But this I just spray on the numbing spray. I got this on Amazon. It's called Ebenol. It's 5% numbing. But again, I haven't been spraying it. But you wanna pinch the skin, put the needle in, and you wanna go slowly. if you go too fast, it will definitely burn. You when you take the needle out, you don't want to rub it. That will increase the chance of bruising. And it also for some reason burns. So I just take it out, put a little piece of cotton on there, so that nothing comes out. Sometimes I put a band-aid. Again, this last week I haven't been. I've been doing it for so long. I'm just like whatever. But that should help. And then maybe a little bit of icing afterwards. But the slower you put it in, the better. You shouldn't have that burn feeling. My cousin came to Missouri from Florida for a baby shower, but they received 90% gift cards and cash, so they did not have to pay to have the gift shipped home. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like not trying to ship stuff everywhere. And I remember like my niece last year or year before last, people did not follow the directions and did not order the gifts through the registry. Like they went and looked at the registry, but then they were calling her to get her address. And so it was just like a hot mess. But the gift cards would be nice. Yeah. Yeah. So the things I think like I need bathtub, a swing, although I was looking at the swings. I have to figure it out. There's so many different ones. There's ones low to the ground, but I worry that if I did that, the dogs would try to get to the baby. So I think I just want a regular swing and then a high chair. And some people were like, only get the registry for like the things you need when you get home or the first 6 months. Obviously, you don't need a high chair in the first 6 months, but I don't know. You guys who are registry experts, let me know what approach you used. But yeah, that's the things I was thinking of, like bathtub, swing, um, little Montessori toys. It's hard with the bottles because you don't know what the baby is gonna like. I feel like, and I hopefully, well, I know some of the bags have bottles in it. The registry bags, like I said, I looked in the Bye Bye Baby. It has a Dr. Brown's bottle, but like the Aventi. But I'm not gonna give the baby a bottle straight away because I just want to get our breastfeeding relationship down. But I like Cheyenne, there was a lot of bottles that she didn't like. And she never took a pacifier. So you just don't know like what your kid is gonna do. So it's like you don't want to get a whole bunch of stuff. I do need to figure out the breast pump. I'm gonna call tomorrow and get the information from the benefits folks at work of like what's covered, how's it covered. I just need to understand more of like the maternity benefits in general, but the breast pump. I was talking to Genesis yesterday. She was trying to convince me to get like a wearable breast pump to take to work. That kind of creeps me out. I could see a wearable at home, like if you want to be doing it and cleaning up, but like I would not feel comfortable walking around the office with a breast pump on. I just want to go to the room, do it, and come out. I've seen videos with people having their breast pump, the wearables on. You can hear them. So I can't imagine like sitting in a meeting, there's a silent moment, and then all of a sudden, like the pump is like making a noise. Even though they say it's quiet, it's not silent. So I was looking at I think it's the Spectra 2. Has anybody used that one? I think that's what it's called. Um, yeah, I don't know. So that I don't need on my registry. The bed and all that, like I'm not gonna ask anybody to buy furniture. I'm gonna get the bed, the crib, and the changing table. I don't need a dresser because the way that room is configured, there's a built-in dresser. Um, yeah, I don't know. And I'm not gonna do that room until like February or March. I feel like March is more realistic because I want to paint and everything, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna personally paint, but I want the room painted. Um, yeah, that's not individualized care at all. He needs to work with you, not just give you generic plans of care. Totally agree on that. It should be a conversation. And if he wants you to succeed, he should be advocating. You guys should be partnering together. I'm an emotional eater dealing with depression and anxiety. I gravitate towards food, particularly sweets. I'm working with the weight loss program. She's very helpful. Oh, that's good. That's interesting. We were just talking about that in group therapy tonight about emotional. I'm an emotional eater too. Somebody was on there was like, I'm just an eater. She was like, I guess it's emotional. If I have a happy emotion, a sad emotion, I'm eating. But yeah, it is, and then also I think therapy is good so you can get to the root of this is so crooked. So you can get to the root of dealing with your emotions in a different way. Because there's always otherwise going to be that reflex, right? So how do you break that reflex, change that pattern? But it's difficult. It's either eating or shopping for me. Lately it's been shopping. Which is, I'm looking, if you guys could see. And it's shopping for myself. I should be shopping for other people at this time of year. But yeah, it is. I think working with the weight loss person is good too. Sometimes I worry about the weight loss like coaches, because what does sustainability look like? In order for them to have a job, people have to keep coming back. So that's a little, so like you still have to figure out what tools you need, like with therapy or whatever else, to like break those patterns, because there are certain things you can do for a certain amount of time, but then if you haven't addressed what triggers you, you're gonna go back eventually. Do you know what I mean? um One of the ladies had a surgery, a gastric bypass surgery, who was in our therapy session, and she was just like, she doesn't now know if that was the best decision for her, because she's not changing her eating patterns, and when she eats too much, it's very painful. So there's that kind of punishment for it, but she hasn't addressed the root of what's making her eat so much. um so sometimes there are other underlying things, right? It's the eating is a symptom of something else, but you have to address what it's a symptom of, if that makes sense. um Most of our diabetic patients swore they got the best advice and diets, recipes, and workable skills from diabetic support groups and speaking with others going through. Oh, that makes sense. I didn't even know. I mean, it makes sense there's diabetic support groups. Thank you for sharing that, Laura. And definitely, yeah, that's a good idea. Isaiah 61. I've been trying to encourage other young women that I know to freeze their eggs, but so many are concerned about the cost. Yeah, the cost can be prohibitive. There are a lot of employers who offer fertility preservation. And I say, when you go in for an interview, ask that question. There is a worker shortage right now. So larger employers are doing extra things to incentivize good employees, right? Attract and retain top talent. So, yeah. There is a video, Chickaboom, on my vitamins. There's a video on my channel. If you go to my channel and you just type in the little, what is that, magnifying glass, search glass, and type in vitamins or type in supplements, it'll pop up. I would love doing a live with you. Just give me time to get my look together. Been real basic. Oh my God, girl, you and me both. Listen. Yes. Okay, we'll plan. I will email you. I would love that. I think it's so important, especially because you are a registered nurse. I know you can't give anybody specific medical advice, but just that wealth of knowledge that you have, and so that people can extrapolate from there and apply it to their own lives, I think would be super helpful for the fertility fam. Definitely gonna order me some of that. Great tips, thank you. I need to find exercises I enjoy. It's a real struggle. No motivation. I have cotton mouth. Hold on. No motivation. I think that definitely will help with the weight loss and A1C as well. It's going to take work. I'm confident I can make slow changes. Yes. And maybe do exercise that doesn't feel like exercise. Somebody in the group chat, I mean, in the group therapy was talking about, I think they call it pickleball. She's been playing pickleball. And she's also been going to the gym. She says she hates the gym, but she just has a regimen. But maybe it's just like a walk, which is also good mentally. I don't know if you have pets, walk the dogs, walk to the park. Park farther away and walk a little bit, like, you know, little challenges, and increase it instead of trying to go big at first, and then if it doesn't work out, you abandon everything. You know what I mean, Lisa? Like, maybe park your car a block away, or if you're like me in New York with the subway, maybe get off at one stop further than you normally would and walk that extra distance. And then it's incremental, right? You have some foundation and then you build on it. That can be powerful too. And I think you'll feel pride in doing that. Like, okay, I did a little bit more for myself today. Because at the end of the day, it's about self-love and self-care, right? You have to love yourself enough to want to live healthier. You have to love yourself enough to want to live longer. And so that is at the root of it all. It's really a form of self-care. Oh, I am registered. Oh my god, girl. Baby List, I did link it in the description box, but Baby List has all the registries, but I wanted all the free boxes. So I registered at Target, Walmart, Amazon, Bye Bye Baby. I think that's it. Yeah, I registered there. But Baby List, and Baby List, because Baby List, I got a box for them too. But Baby List combines all of the registries, so you could just go there. But yeah, I wanted all the free stuff. Yes. My friend did a virtual baby shower and the items were shipped to the home. Awesome. So Heather, I want to do one in person for my family, but then I was saying I could come back and do a virtual and have it so everybody can see their gifts getting opened. Like, is that a thing? I don't remember opening up all my gifts at Cheyenne's shower. I do remember writing out tons of thank you notes, but I also remember all the people who bought clothes wanted pictures of her in the clothes. And this was like in 1994 where you had to like go to like the pharmacy and get your pictures printed out. Baby, I imagine it'll be easier now with the advent of a smartphone. You just snap and click and message it to somebody, but that was like so much work for me to get her in all those outfits that she did not want to be in. Um, yes, I am gonna do a virtual baby shower. I just got to figure out the logistics of it all. My insurance covers for breast pumps. The wearable pump doesn't work that great. My coworker had one, maybe a better brand. Yeah, I looked at the reviews on. I think under the Affordable Care Act that most employers are required to provide a breast pump via insurance. I'm not 100% sure on that though, or employers of a certain size. The reviews were not that great. Like I said, I could see it being a secondary pump for me at home. I would just be mortified to be walking around the office with it. That's all I'm saying. I need like a powerful pump that I can go in at intervals in the day, go in and collect it and come back out. Like I just can't imagine if it slipped, if it's making a noise, like if I'm up in front presenting, it just is like too many unknowns that could happen. Yeah. But like if I'm at home and I want to do laundry and clean the kitchen and whatever else and pump at the same time, maybe that makes sense. But yeah, the blue Spectra is awesome. Okay, is that the one or the two? Because it's the two that I saw really good ratings and reviews about. But I heard the Spectra brand overall is good. Can we please get some footage of the faces around the meeting table when the wearable pump squeezes during a quiet moment? It would be worth it just for that one moment. Just baby, oh my god, that would just be the death of me. I would crawl under the table. I swear, I would crawl under the table. It's bad enough in a lot of the rooms I'm the only woman, or I'm the only person of color, or I'm the only woman of like there's never someone else in the room like me. I just nope. I agree with weight loss clinics. You're their moneymaker. Definitely will try therapy. She does hypnosis and recommended it. I'm a little leery of hypnosis, not sure. Do what feels comfortable. I have not done hypnosis. I have a friend who did it for smoking. He swears by it. I'm good on it, but you have to do what feels comfortable to you. Hey Jazz, how are you? Good evening, sis. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I feel so bloated. Not bloated, puffy from the prednisone, but thank you. When do you plan to do your pregnancy photos? Are you currently looking? I am looking for a photographer, and I don't know. When my belly pops, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe like around 28 to 32 weeks, somewhere around there. Hey, Nikki, how are you? What's cracking? What's popping? What's good? Everybody coming in, please remember to hit the like button for me. It helps out a lot. Costs you nothing, just a little thumbs up. My coworker used Babylist. I bought our gift off there. Never heard of them. Yes. So Babylist was actually created by a woman in the tech industry who was frustrated by all of the different registries. And so she thought about like, what if there's just one? And the cool thing about Babylist is even if this website that you want your gift from doesn't have a registry, you can link it to your Babylist registry. And Babylist will compare the prices. So say like if you're looking at this Spectra pump and you don't have insurance or whatever, it'll tell you which site. Like if Amazon has a better rate than Target or Target has a better rate than Walmart. So I thought that was cool. And again, free box. Free box. Hey, Show. What's cracking? What's popping? What's good, Show Bella? I think too, I have the blue electric not attached to the wall. Okay, so yes, that's the one that I want, the electric one. I don't know, the one I saw, it looked like it might have been pink, but don't quote me. Like, I definitely want the one that's not attached to the wall. And it had an easy case that I can take to work. Um, for those of you guys who are taking it to work, what do you just put your breast milk in the fridge with all like people's sandwiches in the freezer, I guess, with the ice cream? Like I was thinking I'll put it in a stasher. I don't know that I would be embarrassed by it, but I just also don't want people like randomly manhandling my express milk in the freezer. Um, with the freezing eggs, wish every day it was a thing 10 years ago. I watched a channel a girl did it. The men in comments were brutal. The girl, a channel a girl did it. The men in comments were brutal. I think it's an insecurity for men. Was in her 20s, wanted a baby. I think it's an insecurity for men too, because it kind of makes them obsolete. It doesn't, well, not obsolete, because obviously you still need the sperm. It doesn't make them, what is the word I want to use? I want to be careful. It gives us more options. We can be choosier, because I feel like sometimes we, the ovaries are talking, the hormones are talking. We are wired, genetically wired to want to reproduce. Now, some of us talk ourselves out of that from an intellectual standpoint, but I'm talking about pure genetics. And so when that clock is ticking, are you looking for the best man or are you looking for the man that's right in front of you? When you have your eggs frozen, you just have more flexibility. You don't have to worry about your clock ticking. Now, it's not absolute. I'm not saying saving your eggs is absolute. I do know women who, with the older technology of freezing eggs, the vitrification process has changed. I do know women who use the older one and were not successful at thawing them. Embryos have a better chance of thawing than eggs, even to this day, but the chance of thawing your eggs successfully has increased more so than it was when egg freezing was initially introduced. But it just gives you more options. Sometimes I think people settle. Like, I know people who got married, had kids, and the woman was like done with him and divorced him later. And it was like, did you marry him just to have the kids? Maybe not consciously, but is that a part of the equation? So I think it doesn't make men obsolete, but it gives us a chance to be choosier and also to choose to not have a man involved if you want to become a single mom by choice. It just gives you options. My mind is going everywhere. There's a whole diatribe I could go in. They used to give women away and a dowry, because just having the woman wasn't enough. You also had to give gifts to the man. There was all of these things where women were not as valued, but society can't go on without us. So how can we not be as valuable? And it's coming back again with this whole like Dobbs v. Jackson overturning your Roe v. Wade, right? Where like other people want to be involved in our uterus. It just minimizes us. Why should a politician care what I'm doing with my uterus? Like, how in the world could that impact them that it has to become a law? Women are powerful. The sooner we all collectively come to agreement how powerful we are, the sooner we get to equal wages and everything else. But there's also a part of it, of the patriarchal society, where they are like brainwashing other women to keep us in line. Other women telling us like it's okay if other people are in your uterus. Like, it's a whole thing. I just want to share information and knowledge because I feel like knowledge is power. The more information we have, the better off we are. When I used to breast pump, I bought a cooler that you can plug in, and it had a lot hitch on it. Yeah, we cannot plug in separate items. It's a fire hazard in our office. Like heaters and we're not allowed to do that. Yes. Ashley, if you are going to formula feed, Baby Brezza Pro Max formula mixer is great. When I breastfed, the Haku breast pump was great for catching my letdown on the breast. I saw the Haku. I want to get that. I am not planning on formula feeding, but listen, I did sign up for the free formula. Infamil gives out free formula. Similac, so I did order that. And oh my god, there was something else with the goat milk I ordered. Um, yeah. The goal is to breastfeed, but obviously if there's something wrong with my supply or there's something going on, I will have it as a backup. I am being mindful. I know there's been a formula shortage, so I'm not trying to be greedy, but free is free. And I can always give it away if for some reason I don't need it. They're mostly going to send coupons, but they all obviously send you a free sample. I'm trying to see really fast where I ordered this other. Cabrita. Have you guys heard of that? Cabrita made with goat milk. So I had to pay for shipping, but otherwise it was a free formula. But Baby Brezza Pro Max formula mixer. It sounds fancy, Ashley. I have to look that up. The cooler came with these ice blocks, like reusable calling blocks, and I could just set my milk on that, plug it like a refrigerator. Is a little cooler bag, and I will close it and lock it. Gotcha. Yeah, well, I have to figure that out. My coworker who pumps at work store their milk in bags inside their lunch bags. Okay, interesting. They better don't mess with my milk. I, however, have my freezer pack and kept it in a cooler. Okay, Makia. Yeah, maybe I'll just keep it in a cooler or like a lunch bag. And do they put their lunch bags in their fridge though? I know they have the ice things. I don't know. I might be gangster and just stick them all in the stashers and put them in the freezer. Um, it doesn't center them. I don't know what that means, Elizabeth. Um, the men don't have control if you freeze your eggs. Exactly. They sure don't. Put a lock on your lunch milk bag. Okay. Is somebody gonna steal the baby's milk? Oh my god. You know how I feel about my baby's milk and my baby's Cheerio money. Um, she had a baby on her own. They were saying such mean things in comments. Her child was gonna be ruined, no father, she's insecure, etc. Crazy stuff. Yeah. And I've heard people like say, "Oh, you're selfish if you're a single mom by choice." Like, I don't understand all. It's just a fear. I think it's a fear because oh my god, what if we didn't need men? What would the world be? Um, or I shouldn't say, hey, Grace, I shouldn't say we don't need them. We don't need them in the way that we have traditionally needed them. Then they would not be rulers of all. Nothing wrong with having backup formula on hand, right? This is what I'm saying. And like I said, I'm being mindful because I know there's a shortage, but like just in case, you don't know what's going to happen, right? And so it's just like, have some on hand. I can't remember. I feel like Cheyenne must have had formula at some point, but I don't remember. I think what it was is I kept it at my mom's house. Like my mom's and my auntie Jeannie's. Yeah, because she was a WIC baby, but we did not get the formula from WIC. We got like cereal and juice and stuff like that. But just in case, or if someone runs out, like if you have a sitter or a normal person, a regular person who watches the kid, you want to have an option. You can't leave your baby hungry. Maybe you could use a thermal lunch bag for your breast milk and just put the bag in the freezer. That way people aren't touching it. Yes, that would be a good idea. Because I see people in our fridge, they are manhandling other people's stuff, or I'll put my stuff in there and it's like turned upside down when I come back. Like, why were you touching my yogurt, sir? What was going on in this fridge? Um, that is crazy. It's her choice. But see, that's the thing, Cuban Mahogany. Sometimes, like, as a society, we seem to have made it okay for other people to opine about what women do with their bodies. We don't do that to men. Um, yeah. It is, great minds think alike. Men aren't centered. Oh, yes, if women have options, they're not the center of the focus. Exactly. Yeah, they just lose a lot of their power. They put in the freezer, just not exposed as breast milk in a lunch pouch or bag. Okay, that makes sense. Most jobs have a lactation room with a company-owned fridge and industrial breast pump with disposable attachments. I know we have a lactation room. I don't know if there's a fridge in there though. I'm gonna have to go explore these. I haven't been in any. Um, but I'm actually building out a floor with a lactation room, and I don't think we ordered a fridge for it. No, we did not order a fridge for it. We have 3 fridges in one pantry, 2 in another. We did not order a fridge for that room. But we also added a prayer/meditation room, which I'm proud of the company for doing that. But yeah, we don't have, at least not, I'm going to look at it when I get back to work now. But that was not in our specs. I was born in 79. Women didn't really breastfeed then. Me and my older sister were both formula fed. Only breastfeeding wasn't promoted back then like now. Oh, that's so true. I was born in 71. Girl, they gave me pet milk. Pet milk diluted with water. My mom was a teenage mom. She was not going to be breastfeeding me either way. She had things to do, sis. I cherished the time that I spent breastfeeding Cheyenne. I felt like that is part of our bond. There's just some connection that you have. Like, I don't know. I can't really explain it. It's just, I would not pass that up for anything in the world. Now, obviously, if there's a tongue tie, if the baby ends up with a cleft because of the prednisone, all that could be impacted. I would still pump though. And I've seen a lot of the YouTube moms that they're pumping exclusively. And I'm just like, why wouldn't you let your baby latch onto you? Like, that part is so powerful, that connection. But to each his own. If for some reason the baby could not latch, I would still definitely provide breast milk and pump for them to have. And hopefully my supply is okay. I've been looking at the lactation cookies. The acupuncturist has them. I think I will start, like, I was talking to somebody, you can start at like 36 weeks pregnant, somewhere around there. I think I'll start early. I did not have a supply issue with Cheyenne, so I'm not anticipating it, but I know each pregnancy is different. And I'm obviously a lot older, so we'll see. We have 2 lactation rooms, no refrigerator in there, though. Good idea to add one. Yeah, I definitely like the idea of it. We have them throughout our building. I won't say there's one on each floor, but there are lots of lactation rooms. Some of them you have to book them like conference rooms. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out how can I find out about it without actually asking the people in the building about it. I'm gonna have to pull up floor plans and see, because they got to be marked out. I just want to go walk by some. And we don't call them lactation rooms anymore. I think they're called, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like the mother's room, something like that. It's not called a lactation room anymore. My mother was 22 when I was born. She was not educated on breastfeeding, and 18 when she had my sister. Yeah. Different times. We had different information. And I don't want to shame anybody who doesn't breastfeed. Like, if that's not your jam, I know there's all this propaganda, breast is best. What's best is whatever it works for you and your baby and is gonna keep your baby nutritionally sufficient. For me personally, I love the experience of breastfeeding. Women have been encouraged to do it to other women too. Yes, yes. Unfortunately, as if no men are around to call the shots, then some woman will pseudo up and voice that should be done. Like, come on. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, they just are sort of like it's when you're abused and then your abuser is gone, you continue to abuse the other. It's a form of abuse. Like, the man's not there, so I'm gonna tell you what the man would tell you, instead of us like honing our power in and being like, hey sis, that's some bullshit. So yeah. How long do you plan to breastfeed? As long as the baby wants. We'll see. As long as the baby wants. I think Cheyenne breastfed for 18 months and then she was over it. She wanted to be on the move. And Cheyenne did not walk before her first birthday. I think when kids walk more, they kind of like, I don't know. I'll do baby-led weaning. We'll work it out together. When did you start love knocks prior to transfer? How many days before transfer? Oh, I'd have to go back and look at the videos. I feel like we started the love knocks on cycle day 2, the same day that I started my estradiol. Yeah, that has to be right, because I stopped it and started it again. So yeah, it was cycle day 2 when I started the estradiol, and all the meds. We started the Plaquenil, the prednisone, all of that on cycle day 2. Don't start too early. You might end up with preterm delivery. Our body is made for it. That's a good point, because nipple stimulation helps with contractions. That is actually how I started my labor. That's a good point. Thank you, Mika. Because it's so much information. It's like, what do I remember? What do I not remember? But yeah, that is a really good point. I watched this one couple. It's married women, and one of them was pregnant with twins. The other one is also breastfeeding or also pumping, and she started while the pregnant one was still pregnant, which I thought was super handy since they were having twins, like 2 moms breastfeeding. How awesome is that? I felt pressured into formula supplement feeding because my son was a preemie and they told me he wouldn't get enough vitamins on breast milk. Really? Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Ashley. That is interesting. I know sometimes with the preemies, they are not able to suckle, but I thought you would be able to still pump and give them the milk. Yeah. I think as long as they're gaining weight, fine. Like, obviously, the babies lose weight from their birth weight, and then I think they have X amount of weeks to gain it back. But I'm not sure how they determine that there wouldn't be enough vitamins. Yeah. I am still pumping though. Okay, Arlette, you're still pumping. Did I miss the first? Okay, so you're not directly breastfeeding, but you're pumping. Did you go back to work already, Arlette? I'm not sure how old your daughter is now. Oh my God. My coworker was still breastfeeding her 2.5-year-old when she delivered her second baby. God bless her. I feel like, because I've had friends like back home where their kids can walk up, lift their shirt up and say TT. I feel like that's a little too long. Like, it's time to go to a sippy cup. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bond though, and especially if it's your last one, I get it. But like, they would just come up and be like TT and pull it out. And it was just like, I don't know. There's company here. But again, whatever works, each of us has a different relationship with our children. I think whatever works for you and your child, like, who's to judge? Tell people to mind their own business. Oh my God, Tanya, yes, you made it. I've been thinking about you. One more month, right? January. How is the non-smoking going? Hopefully you're able to keep that up. I know that's a hard dragon to fight. Vitamin D. Yes, I have my vitamin D. You missed my comment about how my baby's at day 2 and babies. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I did miss that. Let me see. I should have cleaned my glasses before I started this. But okay, so so you never know, but you were able to pump. So yeah, you just don't know because each child is going to be different. I remember in one of your videos, like when you delivered your daughter, talking about you didn't want the lactation consultant again because you had a bad experience the first time. So I do remember that you were starting a breastfeeding journey, but I didn't know. But 4.5 months is not bad. Yeah, I do think it's important that it be led by the child. Like, otherwise it's just frustrating. And if you force it on them, like, what example are you setting as far as like their own will? I don't know. It's, yeah. The fact that you're pumping and they're still getting the nutrients, I think, is the important part about it. Like, how the delivery method is different. And I have my heart set on breastfeeding, but obviously if the baby doesn't take it, then I will just pump and give it, that way. But that's more about my own emotional connection and wanting that. So we'll see. Baby has a mind of its own. Neo Soul is saying hi, Tanya. Oh, you go back to work January 3rd. Okay, so you still have time at home. That's good. Breastfed babies don't get vitamin D from us, so we have to give them vitamin. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Can we give them some good old sunshine? in January. I'm trying to stay calm without the SIGs, but it's going better than. Oh, good. I'm glad. I did Chantix too. That helped me. I don't know. I mean, it's another medication. If you can do it without it, do it without it. But that definitely helped me. Because that nicotine is real. I think it's best to hope for the best and ability to breastfeed, but don't feel let down if you can. We want a healthy baby. And exactly. I don't like the shaming when people are like, "Oh, you should have done this. You should have you did what was best for you and your child. As long as your child is not nutritionally deficient, then that's the important thing. And you guys are both sane on the other side. So, um, yeah, lactation cookies and oatmeal help my supply, and be diligent and consistent about pumping. Yes, definitely. I want to build up a good supply while I'm at home and hopefully sustain it when pumping, because I feel like my supply definitely waned like when I had to leave the home and pump versus her sucking all the time. And so like I want to be cognizant of that. Like, do I need to pump more? Like, what does that look like? I did have to supplement. I never had a lot of milk come in, and baby sitter ended up in the ER almost dehydrated. I think you mean baby sister with no wet diapers just a few days after she was born. Oh no, that is scary. Okay. It's okay to have to supplement though. That's what I feel like. They should not. I don't know. I'm looking for my chopsticks. Sorry, guys. I feel like sometimes the lactation people can be, specifically La Leche, because that's what I used back when Cheyenne was there, and maybe it's changed. Again, this was almost 30 years ago. Like there was a shame if you had to supplement or if something was going on. Like it just that life is not that black and white, right? We're doing the best that we can, and we have these intentions, but we should be allowed to give ourselves grace and not have a shame or a sense of failure associated with if we had a plan and we had to readjust it, that's somehow a failure, or that we should just be determined and force the situation in. Like, I just don't think that's healthy. Um, you wouldn't do it with anything else. Like if you had a road trip and you got there and there was like a detour, you wouldn't feel this like sense of shame and failure that you had to like reprogram your GPS. So I feel like it's the same thing with like breastfeeding or anything else with child rearing. If your GPS has to get reset, it just has to get reset, and then we move on. Um yeah. That is scary, having to go yeah, and checking for the wet diapers. I remember those too. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm glad everything is okay. I do feel good about. Yes, you should. That's exciting. Absolutely. That's fine if you pump, as long as the baby gets your breast milk. It's not formula feed. And I think for the most part, my real concern, honestly, is the colostrum, because Cheyenne has a really good immune system, and I attribute that in part to breastfeeding. But like getting those antibodies in the beginning, I think that is really important. Whether it's pumped, whether because that's something you can't get from the formula. But sometimes people's like they have problems, their milk doesn't come in, they can't express it, whatever it is. Like, let's just give each other a break. We're doing the best that we can. We know, okay, this is the optimal thing, but everything is not going to be optimal all the time. My little one seems to not want my pumped defrosted milk, but will nurse. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. I don't blame the little one. I don't like defrosted stuff either. Listen, they put him on Similac Neosure because he was 4 pounds 7 ounces at birth and 4 pounds 2 ounces a day later. Supplementing slowed down my production after. I'm sure, yeah. Were you pumping while you were also supplementing? I gotta find my chapstick, ladies. Give me one second. Good lord. Okay. It's hard. It's definitely. It's not like the movies. I don't know what movies they're breastfeeding in, but it's a journey, and it's a relationship between the mom and the child. Um, and so he lost 5 ounces a day later. I know babies lose weight after they get here. I'm sure whatever they were counseling you, they thought it was the best thing at the time, even though they could have done a better job of communicating like vitamins, etc. to you. With my son, the lactation consultant made me feel bad for you. See, this is what I'm saying. He was refusing to nurse for almost a full day. He was only 2 days old, and I just wanted him to eat. Absolutely, absolutely. And they should have supported you in that. That's what I'm saying. Like, my experience with the La Leche, it was just like breastfeeding or nothing, and like making people feel like failures. And that, what a horrible thing to do to a brand new mom. Like, you've prayed for this baby, you've worked so hard for this baby, you got this baby safely here earthside. Of course, you only want the best for that baby. Like, how dare they step in and try to shame you? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm sorry that you had that experience. But I'm glad that you spoke up for yourself and did not put up with that foolishness the second time. Grace given to mamas during breastfeeding is so important, especially in the beginning when everything is being learned between mama and baby. It's already hard enough. Others should only offer support. I agree. And there's a relationship and a rhythm there, right? Because you guys have to learn each other. You just met. And then you're having this intimate moment. And it's not a thing, especially with breastfeeding, is you can't see how many ounces they're drinking. Like, when you have a formula, you can safely say, okay, they drank 2 ounces. I know some people weigh the babies. I'm not going to be doing that in the beginning. Like, unless I have a lot of dry diapers, I'm not going to be obsessive about it. But there's a lot of unknowns, and it takes time. Is the baby latching properly? If the baby's latched properly, are you getting sore nipples? Can you tolerate it? Like, there's so many variables. Like, we just have to give women grace. We just have to give them grace. And if it doesn't work out for them, it doesn't work out for them. The baby's still going to get fed. Guess what? I was not breastfed. I'm perfectly fine. I've got a great immunity system. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be okay. Yes, it's okay to supplement. That's why you should pump to see how much you're producing. If you're getting less than 5 mil, then supplement. Yeah, that's one approach. I'm not gonna pump at first. I want to make sure that my supply is in good and that it is on demand of the baby. Hi, Melissa. Um, because yeah, like Cheyenne had a really good appetite, and I think that helped build up my milk supply. I was not that obsessive though about it, like how many ounces. Like, she was growing, and that was fine for me. Um, yeah, and she had enough wet diapers and poopy diapers. And oh, speaking of diapers, oh my god, anybody do cloth diapering? I'm thinking about trying it in the beginning. I don't know if that's crazy or not. Anybody have any experience with cloth diapering? I had a friend years ago, only pumped. She was molested as a child for years. Oh my God. Went to therapy, but it was traumatic for her to latch the baby, nurse him from her breast. So she only pumped only for 6 months. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That makes sense. Like, you wouldn't, especially if you have that association with it. Oh, that's horrible. And yes, even if colostrum only, if that's all that can be given, it is still so important and can be considered enough if necessary. Yeah, definitely. And I would say, like, even for women who are like, no, I definitely don't want to breastfeed, at least if collecting that, like with the Haku, which I think is great, and collecting that colostrum. And I even put that on my registry too, the little colostrum holders in there. Yeah, I think that is important. I was pumping, but the suction was not as good as my baby. Yes, definitely. And I think I had a manual pump, so it definitely was not as good. My supply definitely changed once I started pumping. Um, it's just not as zealous as a child latching onto your boob. Um, yes, and it's so easy for a tired new mom to just give up and get a bottle, but it by no means determines the fate of the breastfeeding journey. Nipple confusion isn't going to happen in week one. Exactly. Exactly. And especially if you're tired, you're frustrated, and you're a new, like, first time mom, you want to make sure your baby is okay. Like, that is a very, fearful thing. You have this little being and you're like, oh my God, I'm responsible for you. Um, you want them to be okay. Most moms, I'm not going to say all moms, but you want them to be okay. So if that gives you the reassurance, then it's fine. And it's hard with those like hardcore breastfeeding moms who are like going overboard about the nipple confusion, um, who are just like shaming you for thinking about formula, introducing formula, whatever it is, like that doesn't make sense to me. I think it just defeats the purpose. It can be off-putting and then you don't want to deal with it at all, right? So then you're not even going to ask them for additional help because they've already started shaming you. So it just is like a complete disconnect. I think it's the opposite of what, again, I'm not motivated by fear. So that type of like bullshit, I just would, it's off-putting to me. We call colostrum liquid gold. Yes. I have not found good quality cloth diapers, so I'm still on these expensive disposable. Okay, which ones have you tried, Makia? I'm like, oh my God. I'm getting excited. I had my nurse visit on November 15th. We went over my protocol and my medication list and scheduled my SHG. Oh, good. Look at you. I'm excited for you. I hope you are vlogging or documenting some of it. Also, speaking of what you said, Laura, a tired new mom. Sometimes you're so sleep deprived in the beginning, like whatever is going to help. And if the baby is fussy, like, yes, give them a bottle. Like, get through the night, make it to the next day, live to fight another day. Not even fight, but just live to live another day. Like, get through this night. Because I just remember like being so exhausted, like my eyes were burning. I mean, and this was with her latching on, so I can't even imagine like if she wasn't latching or if there was some sort of frustration or a lot of dry diapers. Like, you gotta give people grace. I'm excited for you. The SHG, oh yes, the saline. And you got your protocol and your medication list. Yeah, I hope you do a video on that, Tanya. I'm repeating some of these. Put everything on your registry. If you get it, great. If not, you know what you must purchase. Yeah, I'm not gonna put a lot of clothes on my registry. That's the only thing. I went through that with the first one, and that was a mistake. She did not wear all the clothes that she got. I hate that people think if you switch to formula, it somehow cancels out the benefits the baby got when you did breastfeed. Pediatrician can shake you for stopping breastfeeding too. Talk to them before. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it is. I don't know. Not to mention, like, breastfeeding is good, but what if the mom has a trash diet? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know. Like, maybe she was waiting to have the baby so she'd go back to eating McDonald's all day. Like, that. So it just is, it's not an absolute. Like, it's a conversation. And so that, I just get, anytime people talk in absolutes, I'm always skeptical. Like, you have to do this. You have, like, do I? Do I? Um, Yes. It was hard when I first started breastfeeding. I ended up having to supplement periodically, but we made it a whole year, mostly breast before having to switch to formula due to a car. Oh, I'm sorry about the car accident. Yeah. A year is a good time. Honestly, if you only can do it for 2 or 3 days, whatever it is that works for you, you tried it, it worked, it didn't work, no harm, no foul. She still pats the girls and looks for me. Oh, oh my God. That's funny. And I remember too, Cheyenne would say she could hear a bump, but she was hearing my heartbeat. I just thought that was like so sweet. Um, yes, which the mom's heartbeat is the first sound the baby hears. Laying down breastfeeding position is the game changer. Oh, yes, Melissa. Oh my God. We lay down all the time in the beginning. That was the best feed. And I did not have to get up at night. So maybe it was out of laziness because I had friends who were like, oh, you got to go heat up this. And nope, I just got to roll over and pop out a boob. She did sleep with me. I know people are like, your baby, whatever. She slept with me. There was a bassinet and a crib. She just wasn't a fan. Funny thing, my mom kept some of my clean cloth diapers from many, many moons ago. The ones I have seen in various stores. Less crap or lake crap. I remember those old school cloth diapers. For years we would have them like clean ones, but for like cleaning cloths. But yeah, they have these new ones with the snaps and whatever else. I was thinking at least in the very beginning, because they also said like when your baby is breastfed exclusively, the poop is water soluble, so you don't have as much of a mess. So if I'm able to breastfeed exclusively and not, I don't know, I might do it. I have so many ideas. I have to do more research. And then they also have like the potty training where it's really, I don't even know if it's technically potty training, but you put the child over a pot when they have to go. like over a baby toilet or whatever else, like at X amount of months. There's so many things out. I don't have a camera. Is there a way to vlog using with the iPhone? Yes! I vlog all the time on my iPhone. Just record video. It's not a one-size-fits-all world. Lactation specialists and pediatricians need to understand its many variables. So true. And again, I'm all about our healthcare providers meeting us where we are. To just lecture people is such an off-putting thing. And you can lose that person's attention, right? Because if it's very off-putting, people are not going to return or want to be involved. And so then what have you accomplished by this like strict, stern, you should do it this way. This is the only way to do it. It should be a conversation, like meet that person where they are. My mom was the best support during the breastfeeding journey. She acted like I was a superstar for doing because she didn't do it at all with her for. Oh, that's awesome. That was the thing too. I was the first person in my family to breastfeed, so it wasn't like I could ask other people about it. So I did lean on the lactation group a lot, but again, a little stern. Which I think I kind of tolerated it more because I was in my 20s. You know, you go through that a lot where people are like lecturing you kind of thing. At this age, save it. I'm not gonna be lectured. I have my med list, but not sure if I want to repeat the SHG. I hope not. When was your last SHG? You might not have to repeat it. I know when they did mine, that's when they found a polyp and I had to have a polyp removed. But SHG was easier than the other one, the HS. Is it the HS? SH was the saline. It was like a lot smoother. The other one was not pleasant. Disposable, Huggies and Honest. I'm well. Sheet on Huggies due to that's what is sold at Costco. Gotcha. So I know there are diapers in the boxes, so I'm excited to see that. And I keep hearing about these water wipes. I think the Amazon has the water wipes in it, so I'll see. I want to try it out on myself first before I put it on baby. Like I have sensitive skin, Cheyenne has sensitive skin, so I obviously this child is not genetically mine, but epigenetics, the child might have sensitive skin. I just want to be mindful of that. And so I'm sure with the water, it's good. I just want to feel the texture. I want to feel all of that before I put anything on the baby. This to spray the cloth diapers before washing. I saw that once. I do not have a bidet. I do not. But I'll just dunk it in the toilet. And I was like watching someone's video and they said they also wash it with vinegar to take out any odor. Yeah, I think it would only be in the beginning. Like I don't see like dropping the child off at nursery in a cloth diaper, but just like in the very beginning. Um, Also, I'm worried about my footprint, like my eco footprint, right? Like how many diapers are sitting in landfills? Like if I can reduce any of that, like why not try? Although with the wipes, oh my god, I remember like I don't know because you guys are a lot of you are younger, but you used to have to use a washcloth to like wipe the baby's butt before wipes were a thing. You would have a washcloth and do it, so it was like it's only one. It was like a mid step. You'd have disposable diapers, but you had these washcloths to like get the poop off of them. But yeah, all of that goes into landfill. So I'm just trying to think of like how can I reduce waste. Um, Tanya is sending you love, Heather, and positive vibes. Yes, everybody who's prepping for your IVF or your transfer, I'm definitely sending you positive vibes. And it's coming up on the holidays, so get yourself ready. People are who may not know what your struggles are going to ask inappropriate questions. Think about if you want to put yourself in that environment. If you do want to put yourself in that environment, think about what you're going to say, how you're going to answer it, how you're going to remember to give yourself grace because it's that time of year. And the people will be like, so when are you having kids? Or, oh, you really want kids? Take mine. Like all the crazy shit people say to people struggling. Thinking that made a lot of sense. Oh, what made a lot of sense? The dogs are snoring. They're like, we're gonna nap without you, mama. You'll save money with cloth diaper, and that too. And I have a washer and dryer in my house, so I might as well. Yeah. save a landfill, save some coins. My mom had 5 girls and we all have kids, but none of us breastfed. But this time around, I will for sure, if at all possible. Look at you, Shamika. Yeah. It's not for everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna change the shape of your breast. It's gonna change the um not the volume, but I don't know, like they're gonna droop. They're not gonna be the same as if you didn't. Um I remember my mom telling me like they bound her breast so her milk would not come in at all, like before she left the hospital, which I thought was interesting. So she never had that experience of like having the fullness and then having to wait for it to dry up, I guess. Yeah, it's not a perfect situation, but in my opinion, I was like, well, that's part of the reproductive system. That's why I have it. So I just was not really worried about that. But like I don't want to glamorize it. I think it's up to everyone else, and I think the formulas are so advanced. Like your child is going to get nutrition for the formula, so I'm not going to say breast is the only way to do it. It's a personal decision, like what makes sense for you, what makes sense for your baby. And you could have the best intentions of breastfeeding and your baby could be like, no. You know what I mean? So like I think it's important to set it up that way so that if the baby doesn't decide to breastfeed, it's not a rejection of the mom. It's that's what the baby wanted to do and it's okay. Um yeah, I just wish like we didn't shame each other, you know? I think breastfeeding was really taboo in the Black community, starting to be really popular and embraced, which is good. Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought about it as it being in the Black community. I was just thinking of it as a time period, but that could be. I wonder why though. Like I said, they fed me. They fed me with pet milk. I don't even know if it's like evaporated milk. I don't know if they have it everywhere. It's similar to carnation, but it's not carnation. Um, do not leave your baby wipes in a baby warmer. They will dry out. I learned the hard way. Oh no. Okay, that's good to know. I don't like the water wipes. They aren't as thick. Okay, good to know. That's why I want to test them out, Davina. Target has Gerber cloth diapers. Okay, very cool. I put cloth diapers on my registry. We'll see how it goes. I know there are some that are like boy and girl, so I'm not gonna have those, but they have the things that you can add in. Um, so we'll see. SHG was 8 months ago. They had a hard time because they said my uterus was tilted towards my back and it was not good. Ouch. Oh, I'm sorry. Typically, they are good for at least a year. Like some places will let it be up to 2. Some places will let it be a year. So if I'm not sure when you're doing your IVF, but maybe you won't have to do it again, especially if that one was painful. Like what else would they be discovering? You know what I mean? Yes, I had an HSG last August, so I'm kind of nervous. SHG is so much smoother than the HSG. It's just the saline. It feels a little weird, like, because it's going to pour out a little bit and there's an ultrasound, but it's not as forceful. I don't know. Maybe it was my tech, but the HSG, and I took Tylenol before. It was just felt more forceful in there, where I felt like with the saline, it was like, maybe because of the water, it was like a little more peaceful. Hopefully it goes well. You can take, they recommend Advil, but I can't have Advil because I only have the one kidney. But you can also take something a little bit before it. I'm not going to say it's painless. There is an uncomfortableness to it. But for me, at least, the SHG was less uncomfortable, less like intrusive than the HSG. And each of those I only had to do once, like throughout my whole 5-year journey. At this point, I use toilet tissue to get the majority of the poop, which allows me to reduce the amount. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. I like that. And then, so here, hopefully this is not a dumb question. The wipes, do you just put them in the diaper pail? Or are you flushing the wipes? Um, they're already drooping, so no worries. There you go. We all know breastfeeding is the most healthy for your baby, so if you can, you should. I don't know about should, though, get lean with lean. I don't know about should. Um, it has to fit in with your lifestyle. I think when we try to force things on people, that's where it gets, it gets tricky. Um, and it's we can say it's the most optimal in general, but it has to be person specific, right? So like I don't know, if you have to go, some people don't get a full maternity leave. If you have to go back to work in 6 weeks and you work overnights or there's some other extenuating circumstances, it may not be the best for your situation. Maybe you can express and leave it with that person, but then I don't know. What if you like are an iron welder? Do they have maternity like rooms for, you know what I mean? Like you really have to sit down and speak with someone, I think, one on one and understand their specific circumstances before you prescribe this should to them, in my opinion, in order for people to be successful and without shaming them. Because I think most of us are doing the best that we can with the information that we have. Yeah, my answer for that right now is no. I can't do the big holiday get together right now. I can't bounce the questions and combos off as easy right now. So I told my mom and just give my love Thursday. Good for you. Protect your peace, Laura. I think it's so important to have a plan going into the holidays because there are so many triggers and people say crazy shit, as you know. I'm definitely going to breastfeed when I'm blessed with my rainbow baby. Yes, ma'am. And your rainbow baby was coming. Maybe it was taboo due to the history of wet nurses during slavery. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, maybe. Oh my God, what a travesty to have to feed someone else's baby and you can't even feed your own. Like, yeah, that is a good point, Arlette. Many of my coworkers who had babies in 2021 and this year swear by those water wipes. Gotta try stuff yourself. Yes, I definitely want to try it. Because also, I'm like, is this like social media hype? Because I swear I keep seeing it on all these when they're doing their like unboxing and gifting. Um, we'll see. I'm gonna try it on my bottom first and see if it passes the test. For the wipe warmers, put half a cup of water in it. They remain moist. So funny. This reminds me because I don't even know if I'm gonna get a warmer or not. But this reminds me when my brother was little, like when he started school, my mom used to get up and iron his underwear because he couldn't put on cold underwear. But I'm like, if I have a wipe warmer at home and then we're out in public and the wipes aren't warm, is the baby gonna freak out or should I just keep them all cool? You know what I mean? Like, because that's gonna be a difference. Um, or do they have portable warmers? Like it just reminds me of my brother, and I'm just like, oh my god, just put your underwear on already. They're only gonna be cold for 2 seconds. Um, I am 12 weeks 2 days today, Brenna. Thank you. Rest felt like period cramps on 10, but only for like 60 seconds. It hurt and I had no blockage. Yeah, oh my God. The HSG it's just like a big, powerful force, you know, because they're trying to see if your tubes are open and it was just not fun. Tylenol and ibuprofen. Yeah, take it before you get in there so that it's kicked in. For the SHG was like period cramps, not too bad. Yeah, see, my SHG did not feel like it was uncomfortable, but it was not like period. Well, I don't have really bad period cramps to begin with. Like I have back pain, so that's probably not a good comparison. But it was not as fierce as the HSG for me. Um, exactly. I was like, whoa. Um, if a mother is eating poorly and abusing drugs and various substances, I'd rather the baby have formula. Exactly. Exactly. Because sometimes, like, are you doing nutritional training with these women ahead of time? Like, especially if I'm thinking of like lower socioeconomic people, which I was when I had Cheyenne, which is why I was on WIC. Um, I happen to eat very healthy because I came from a family that ate very healthy, but they didn't know that. You know what I mean? They're giving you like fruit and fruit juice, which even fruit juice is not necessarily healthy, right? Because you really want to have the fruit so you have the pulp and the fiber. Um, Fruit juice is actually very high in sugar, but they didn't know, and they're still. I mean, I took it upon myself to educate myself and read like I'm an avid reader and find out what was what. But for them to just be telling everybody to breastfeed, it doesn't necessarily make sense. You don't know what they're eating. You don't know if they have a well-rounded diet, so it's not always. That's why I said you have to really like talk to people and have like that partnership and let like give them the information so they can make decisions for themselves instead of just saying this is what you should do. Hello, I'm glad I'm catching. Hey, Destined for Greatness. Oh my God, how are you doing? It's getting close to by time I noticed that you were on and wanted to stop. But hello. Yeah, I'm wide awake because I took my prednisone late and I had several naps earlier. I'm glad that you made it. After cleaning with the toilet tissue and then using the wipes, I put the wipes in the disposable diaper and then in the diaper. Okay, that makes sense. Um. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was nice meeting you over there. I'm getting ready for my transfer, thinking about those details always. Yes. Relax as much as you can going into transfer. This last transfer, I just like gave it up to God too. I did everything that I could do, but I was just like, I left it in his hands, which helped me reduce my own anxiety. Um, yeah. And I took the day off and the day after off. I had acupuncture before, but not after because I didn't want to stress myself out. Um, and transfers, I was like doing massages and a bunch of things that got expensive, so I just scaled all that back. But I did do yoga and meditation. Meditation is a game changer. Meditation is a game changer. It just is. Even if you only do it on YouTube, like the guided meditation, and you lay and let somebody else guide you through it, like that's a good way to get into it. It just, I don't know, it frees up so much energy and it helps you focus on being like present in the moment. It's very, very powerful, especially if you have anxiety, because anxiety is all about worrying about shit you can't control, right? It's where it's like, what's going on? What if this? What if that? And like when you deepen your meditation practice, all that gets quieted down. So it can be very powerful. It's not for everybody. I'm not like trying to force it on you if you don't, but if you haven't tried it and are open to it, it can be a game changer. Water wipes are great. They're heavy, so you can tell they are mostly water. Okay, Melissa, I'm gonna try it, girl. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna let you know. Um, yes, baby, that's to you, Brenna. Um, wipe warming is the less of your worries. Oh my god. Okay, that sounds ominous, Alice. That HSG is not bad. A little bit of cramping and some light bleeding. Ooh, I had the opposite experience with the HSG. Um, yeah, it was brutal. My tubes are clear, so I can only imagine how it feels with blocked tubes. Oh, I didn't even think about that, right? If the pressure's got to come back, oh my God. Yeah. Oof. I need to start meditation. I've seen many recommendations on YouTube for yoga also. There's this one channel I can't think of, but if you put in search meditation, there's a lady who does yoga and meditation. I have not done that because I like Birdie who for my yoga. Um I also found there's a prenatal yoga class here in New York that I want to take. Um yeah. I definitely want to make sure like my hip flexors and all of that are nimble. Um I feel like I was not prepared for that in birth with Cheyenne. I also do not want to labor on my back, no matter what. I do not want to labor on my back if I can help it. Good night, Shelly. Thank you for hanging out. So I'm 37 years old and 26 weeks pregnant. Thank you with our rainbow baby. Congratulations. I said thank you. Congratulations, pregnancy brain. I'm a dance fitness instructor and a server. What are your feelings about belly bands? Do they help? I don't have any feelings about a belly band because I don't think I know what that is. Is it the one to support your belly? If that's it, I'm a fan of that. I had a belly band, if that's what it's called, with Cheyenne. Um, there are different kinds though, depending on what you need. Like, do you want more back support? How like are you and you're a server and you're still dancing, right? Yeah. Or you can get like the exercise wear, the pants that have the extra support in there. I'm thinking that's what a belly band is. I don't know if that's what they were called before. But the extra support is good because the stomach is just pulling down, right? Gravity is pulling down. So if you can have something to kind of counterbalance that and pull it back up. Um Gigi is sending everybody baby does. My friend takes hot yoga. I can't stand to be hot. Would pass out afraid to go with her. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend hot yoga for pregnant people. Like I couldn't even. I get hot just going up and down stairs at this point. I'm running so warm. Arlette, my HSG was excruciating and my tubes were not blocked. It is so interesting how everyone has a different experience. We are all unique. Yes, yes. Mine was if I could have kicked that man in the face, I would have kicked him in the face. It was like, and he keeps saying relax. Like, sir, let's switch places and I'm gonna see how relaxed you are. Yes, it supports your belly. Okay, yeah, it is the band that I'm thinking of. Um yeah, definitely. Because I was on my feet a lot when I was pregnant with Cheyenne, and the belly band definitely helped. Belly bands are really supportive, so everyone agrees. Yeah. That way you don't have that full weight on there. All right, ladies, it is 10:55. I'm gonna call it a night. I thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you so much, love, for the super chats. I appreciate you. As I said, I'll drop my office email. I mean, not my office email, my office. Can you guys still hear me? I don't know what just happened. I clicked on something. Good night, everybody. Thank you. I'll drop, like I was saying, the office mailing address in the description box once this is done. All right, everybody. Baby dust to us all.